Hello, 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 and welcome to Catch Up with Sonny. Today's guest, Kat.
Excuse me.
Just you. It's just gonna be a short stream today where we're gonna be talking about WandaVision, the series finale, and then also a little bit about the series overall. And we are going to get into spoilers. First off, we're gonna do our absolute best to do a kind of a spoiler-free review of the series finale and then the season. It's just gonna be a few thoughts, and then we're gonna jump into a spoiler discussion with all of you guys. And we very much, excuse me, we very much encourage all of you to send in your questions, your comments through Streamlabs and also Super Chat. You can follow the link down in the description. It'll take you to Streamlabs, and then of course Super Chat is on YouTube, and there should be like a little dollar sign or something that you can click. Oh yeah, alrighty. Yeah, just getting the things ready. And other than that, we are also going to talk a little bit about the future of the channel, just the near future, just what we're considering getting into watching, reacting to now that we've wrapped up Wanda. So yeah, just what's next? What have we been considering? All that stuff. Are you? No, 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 no.
Sorry.
It's all fine. It's all good.
Okay. I was, uh,
You're getting confused and you thought there were no sound or something.
yeah, I was just like, yeah, I was.
It's all good. It's all good. I think I've figured out how to use Streamlabs or OBS just barely so far, at least. But yeah, that's what we're gonna get into as well. And then that's pretty much it for today. And that's why it's just gonna be a short stream, a short show here. And that's, yeah, so it all depends on the discussion, how many of you guys are going to join in, what we're going to be talking about inside of WandaVision. And then just when it comes to future shows, future reactions, stuff we're going to do, it's not that we're asking for a lot of new recommendations or anything. There are already a lot of those. We get recommendations daily. We have a whole list of shows that we know we want to do. But of course, we can't do all of them. If we could, that would be awesome. But it takes a long, long while to set up and film it and talk about it. And then the editing process takes a while as well. But we're doing the best we can to get through some of the shows that we know that you guys want us to react to, and also, of course, what we want to watch. That I think that's a given. It's going to be something that we want to watch, and we're not going to jump into something that we don't find interesting or anything like that. But all right, I was actually thinking now. I know I said it in, like WandaVision first, and then future of the channel afterwards. But I think I want to do it the other way around because that way, the people who are here now and who maybe aren't that interested in WandaVision or haven't seen the final episodes and don't really want to talk spoilers, then we can save that to like the last part of the stream. Do you think that sounds all right?
Sure.
Sure. So yeah. First, it is talking about or just telling you guys what's gonna happen in the near future, and then some of the stuff that we've been thinking about. And I'm sure maybe some of you guys have a question or a comment that you want to submit there or get in there about all of that. And then we're gonna do the WandaVision spoiler-free review as best as we can, and then the spoiler stuff. But yeah, and I see people are definitely in the chat, and my dear mom is here as always. That's very nice. But yeah, what are we going to do now after WandaVision? Well, most of you guys probably know there's some more stuff coming over on Disney Plus, particularly some stuff in the MCU, and you're not going to be a part of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier
No.
reactions. That's going to be me and my father, aka Major Dad, who you have maybe seen on the channel before. He was part of Band of Brothers just for one episode, and then him and I we did the Pacific series together, and also two movie reactions. And we still want to do some more history related stuff, maybe World War II, World War One, but we also want to get into some fantasy and sci-fi because like he's the reason why I got into all of that stuff in the first place. So yeah, we're gonna do Major Dad and I. We're gonna do the Falcon and the Winter Soldier as soon as that premieres on Disney Plus, and I think that's gonna run for about 6 weeks or something, or at least like 6 episodes. And when that's over, then we're gonna continue him and I, and we're gonna be watching The Bad Batch because that's Star Wars, and that's like the big, yeah, ta-da, the big thing for Major Dad and I, and he's also the one who got me into that. I know I've mentioned it many times, but we are looking so much forward to doing that, talking about yeah, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. MCU stuff. He's all caught up. He knows all about the movies and what's going on. He also watched WandaVision, so he's not going to be completely lost or anything. And then the Bad Batch, yeah, Star Wars. That's just our jam. But then I think we've gotten so far ahead now, like time wise, that when the Bad Batch wraps, or it's gonna be kind of in the middle of the Bad Batch, but that's when we're gonna get another MCU series, Loki, and you're definitely gonna join me for that one.
Yep.
Yes, because Loki, that's just what does he mean to you, or that character, or maybe just
Well,
Tom Hiddleston? I don't know.
yeah, that's it. Okay, that's probably a longer story to all of this, but I watched Thor, and being the Dane I am raised with like Nordic mythology and all of this. So I sat down and I was so pissed because Thor was not portraying like Nordic mythology as I knew it, because it's only taken inspiration from
Yeah, it's
the
the Marvel
I,
version of the Nordic mythology,
yeah, I
yeah,
was
and
just
not the real one.
yeah, I was just thinking it's called Norse
Norse,
mythology, right?
Norse mythology, yeah.
Yeah, sorry, so English, but yeah, so yeah, I watched that one, but actually I liked the movie. I just hated everything that was like related to Norse mythology and the liberties they've taken here and there, and I was so mad. But yeah, so in that regard, yeah, Loki is not in Thor, is he?
Oh yeah, yeah, he's the villain in the first one.
Oh yeah, okay, it's been such a long time, so
Yeah, maybe we should watch it soon. We should.
yeah,
We
we
will.
should, yeah. But I just Loki just he was also kind of my favorite from like our Norse mythology. Like he's my favorite guy, man.
Mm.
And I think in that regards, I think Tom Hiddleston did such a great job with like captivating the mischief around him. Like
Yeah,
he
the
did
trickster god.
exactly, and he's a very tragic character in the Norse mythology as well. So it was just yeah. So I was just yeah like Loki a lot, and
Hmm.
then Tom Hiddleston is just like he's like one of the greatest people. I think he's such a nice and like I'm sorry, I can't find the English words today. My vocabulary is just completely gone. He's very considerate
Mm.
of other people. He's very like he has a warm heart and he has such a presence and he's
Mm.
such I love his impression of velociraptors and stuff like that. He's I
Yeah,
love him.
I've
He's
seen
just
any
a
of the interviews. Like, yeah,
great guy.
he's really a great guy. And yeah, Tom Hiddleston, that is. Loki is maybe not a
No.
good guy. He's more of an, or he was a villain, and then he became like more of an anti-hero
Yeah.
in a sense, and helping out the good guys, but still betraying Thor and all that good stuff. And they kept on using him again and again and again, because he was just that popular, and he was like the first big, popular, really well done villain in the MCU. Because they've struggled a little bit with the villains
Yeah,
throughout the
it's not like
movies.
the villains were bad. It was just that they were most of them were kind of one note, or if they were not one note, they were just like disappearing. Or like for example, I think Ultron was a very interesting villain,
Mm,
but they only used him for like one movie, and then they kind of
That was good. The Age of Ultron was it lasted a week or
Yeah,
something.
exactly. It's just makes it's so sad because I also think that Mads Mikkelsen did a great job with Caecilius,
Oh yeah,
but
Doctor
they
Strange
also just basically evaporated him into Dormammu's
dimension. Yeah,
dimension of nothingness
yeah.
or torment or
It
whatever
was
that
a
was.
one and done, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's so sad because I think they really did a good job with like creating interesting villains, but not like someone who was withstanding anything. So I just think that's
Yeah, but Loki he was there for a long while, and even the villain in the first big team up movie, Avengers, which was I remember when that came out, and it was still like, wow, they're gonna put all of these big heroes and actors and actresses in this one movie.
mm,
How is that gonna work? That's not gonna. It can't really, but it did. It was such a huge success. And I think also in part because they had a good villain in that movie. I know Loki was sent by Thanos, and then Thanos came in later, and definitely also an amazing villain inside of the MCU. But yeah, Loki. Oh, and spoilers for Endgame, I guess, but I'm sure you've all seen it. Then he dies, like for real this time. No more resurrections, and he was killed by Thanos in Endgame, and that was so sad. But then also during Endgame, when they started doing all the time travel shenanigans, they opened the door to like, okay, he might actually come back, or at least he took the 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 Tesseract at that point and disappeared. So what's gonna happen now in that series? So that's what we're very excited about. So at least that was some more MCU in the Falcon and Winter Soldier, Star Wars, and then some more MCU again with Loki. But we're also kind of in the middle of the Legend of Korra right now, and we're gonna continue to do that, and we're gonna wrap it up. Of course, we're gonna watch all of it. Don't know exactly how long it's going to take because sometimes we can do 2 episodes a week, and other times we can only do one. It all depends on our schedules. But once we're done with that, or when we're getting close to getting done with or finishing up The Legend of Korra, then we're gonna do something that we did all the way back when we started doing Avatar: The Last Airbender,
yeah.
or how that got selected, or how we started watching that, and that was through a poll, kind of like a short form animated series poll where we put in, yeah, the Last Airbender and a bunch of other shows, and we asked you guys to vote on it, and at that point in time, The Last Airbender won. So we're going to do another poll when we're done with The Legend of Korra. And some of the shows that we are definitely going to put in in that poll is something that was, or some of the shows that was also a part of the first one. I know a big, really big one that people have been suggesting and are still suggesting almost every day. And some people aren't even suggesting it, they're just straight up telling us react to Attack on Titan. So of course that's going to be in the poll, and we do want to watch it. It's not that we don't want to.
I do know a little bit of
Sorry.
I do know a little bit of like things that's gonna happen in Attack on Titan, so I've been spoiled a little bit. Just so that everybody was, yeah. So if, yeah. Don't get your highs
Don't get your hopes up.
yeah.
That, but maybe you forgot. Like I've seen stuff about Attack on Titan as well, and names, and but I don't know any of the characters. I have no idea what's gonna like what that means. So I'm sure I've
And
already forgotten it.
I know a few things.
Okay, so
Like huge plot twists and stuff
oh
like that.
damn.
So
Okay. That might disappoint some people out there.
yeah. Yeah.
You probably shouldn't have said anything then, but maybe yeah, just expectations. But at
Yeah.
least Attack on Titan, it's gonna be on the poll because we know it's a very popular one, and then also Full Metal Alchemist.
Yeah, that was one. I think there are two, right? So there's Full Metal Alchemist, and then there's like Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. So like
Yes.
two separate.
Yeah.
And then we talked about Death Note.
Yes, and One Piece, was that one of them as well? No,
No,
not that one.
that's like if Naruto is like a billion years or a billion episodes, then
One Piece
One Piece
is
is like a trillion episodes.
fair enough. Okay, so yeah, not gonna jump into another Naruto thing, because I'm still working on that, and of course I'm gonna continue doing those, and then maybe you can join in.
I'm
What?
probably gonna join in sometime during Shippuden, but
Yes.
it all depends on my schedule as well. Because once again, I'm working two jobs,
Hmm.
so it's little bit difficult for me to just like put everything aside and just watch
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
a lot of episodes each week.
Yes, yes. But we're gonna like collect a lot of the suggestions when it comes to these like short form series, animated series. And then first off, we're gonna do like a really big poll over on Patreon where there are gonna be multiple shows to choose from. I don't know how many options you can put into Patreon, but it at least it's more than what you can do on YouTube, where I think the maximum is about four or five. So we're gonna do the poll on Patreon first, and then the four or five shows that gets the most votes on Patreon is then gonna continue on to the poll on
Yeah,
YouTube,
let's do it like that.
and then whatever you guys choose over there, that's what we're gonna be watching when we get to that point, when we are done with the Legend of Korra, which is something that yeah we're nearing the end of book two at the moment.
Yeah.
So almost halfway through the Legend of Korra, because there are four books or four seasons in total. And to those of you who are like, wait a minute, they're only on chapter six here on YouTube, that's because we are several episodes ahead over on Patreon. So if you are extremely curious about our reactions to some of the stuff that's coming up, like the two-parter that is coming out on, well, it's coming out on YouTube next week, but still it's over on Patreon if you are extremely curious and just can't wait. Same with well, yeah, I'm a little bit ahead on with Naruto as well, like 2 to 4 episodes. But yeah, that's the plans, at least right now, for the future. We do also want to be able to like do some shows where like they've already come out and like all of the seasons. I know we've talked about Haunting of Hill House. I know that's very far up on our list.
I think that was actually next one, but the problem is with every time something new comes out,
Yes.
it's just constantly bumping down Haunting of House Hill.
Yeah.
And also, again, with my two jobs, it's basically almost impossible to get, like, to actually.
Sometimes you can do like a reaction to one episode of
Oh,
something per
yeah.
week, and then that's
And
just
sometimes,
yeah.
like, if I have any events during the weekend, it's gonna be hard for me to, like, watch more than one or two episodes.
Mm.
And also, just like I'm easily stressed out, so I also like to have some time to recharge and just like do nothing.
Mm.
Basically, just stare into a wall for a couple of hours, maybe sometimes,
Look
and
at cat videos or dog videos
stuff
or
like that. It's just sometimes I need to recharge and just, and especially now where we don't have like where we're in a lockdown. I've been in a lockdown for 2-3 months now, and that means I haven't been able to go bouldering, and that's one of the main things I do to like recharge and just basically just
yeah.
take out my brain and put it
Yes.
somewhere else. So for me, this is like it's so hard for me to regain or like recharge,
Yes.
recover.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah, 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 exactly. But at least just yeah, what I was mentioning or what I was getting into is just Haunting of Hill House. That's something that we've considered a lot and something we want to do. I know something like Mr. Robot is up there as well. And I think I don't know. Well, I'm curious about Lost because I've never seen it, and I know that's a big series. But I'm also wary of getting into shows where people got very disappointed by the finale. You can take that however you want.
Yeah, I remember back when Lost was a weekly thing, and it was
Mm,
like the water cooler uh, element was.
just water cooler talk show thing. Yeah,
Yeah,
you know
whatever.
what we mean.
Yeah, and I don't know. I was just and I remember I saw the the intro sequence with the plane crash and stuff like that. It was just not catching me. Like maybe I don't know.
Maybe it's something we can get into at some point. Like I remember, like I've, and some of you might know this. Like I started watching The Expanse by myself, just all the way back when it came out, and it didn't really grab me the same way that it did when we started watching it on the channel, and now it's one of my absolute favorites. So you never know.
You never know.
So
Yeah.
there's a lot to consider, and I can see in the chat people are also mentioning some of the stuff that we already got into, and of course Attack on Titan. That's always, we already mentioned that and talked about that. That's definitely going to be in the poll when we get to that point.
But I'm just gonna say, because Chloe mentioned this before, this is not a man bun. This is not. This is too small to be a man bun.
What? Oh, what's going on over here?
Yeah.
In my back? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a dude. It's just like a tiny knob.
It's just my hair and a knot, I guess, because I don't want to deal with it right now.
Yeah, it's just like a teeny tiny. It's not. It's almost not even a knot. It's just like because it's like breaking free, so it's
Just
almost just like a tiny ponytail.
something like that. Yeah. Not that we're gonna get into my head or anything. Yeah, I just thought with the colors at least today, Wanda and White Vision, or Scarlet Witch and White Vision.
Oh my
A little
god.
bit. It wasn't on purpose. It was just I just thought that, or at least like right now, sitting here looking at myself, being like, oh, wait a minute, there's actually I can spin this into something that makes sense, and not just because I'm lazy and putting on a cap. And I guess your like the multi-color thing that you got going on is kind of like
Why are you reading into this?
I'm not reading into it. I'm just, well, it's just like the some of the posters that we got from WandaVision, some of the multicolors. Never mind, never mind. You're the one who started
I was
talking about hair and stuff.
yeah, I was thinking about like if this has to be something like about WandaVision. I was thinking like at the end in the credit scene where they like pick everything apart and they zoom into like everything.
Yes, that's that as well. And that was also what they used in some of the posters and promotional
Okay.
materials. I think we're referring to the same stuff. Never mind, never mind. Baby bun is what Chloe's calling it now.
It's not a bun. A bun is like a bun. It's like
A lot of hair in a, yes.
a
Let's get back to talking about the shows. But at least, yeah, that's at least what we're considering, what we have been considering, and the stuff that I mentioned earlier. That's what's going to happen on the channel, what we're going to get into in the near future. So that's what's set in stone at the moment, and then we will surely get to some of the other stuff that we
we
talked
were
about.
talking about maybe like a Patreon exclusive thing.
Yes.
And we were talking about Umbrella Academy season 2.
Yes, because we watched the first one and absolutely loved it.
Absolutely, it was one of the like I couldn't stop watching it. It was such a I loved it. Like I can't even explain how much I loved it. It was just it was this close to being my favorite TV series of all time.
Oh, damn. You
Yeah, it
loved
was.
it that much. Okay.
Yeah, I was like I couldn't get it down. You know, like binging. Like I haven't felt like that in years.
Yeah, and then we didn't start season two, and that's purely because like, I think we were talking with some people over on Discord about doing it, or was it on Discord? I can't remember. We were talking about
Possibly.
with some people about doing it as a Patreon exclusive series. So if and when we start doing a Patreon exclusive reaction, and that's gonna be easier to do because we're just gonna do it as full length over on Patreon, and then I don't have to edit them, so I don't have to pour 6 or 7, 8 hours into editing when it comes to that stuff. But it's not gonna happen like right now. I think is that what you were about to say?
Also that, but also that you're not gonna spend as much time. Like we're not gonna have the green screen. Or
Oh
anything
yeah,
like
yeah,
that. So it's just gonna be much more like laid back and
yeah.
chill.
We
And
might even lie back and chill while watching it. So
yeah,
it's
so
just
for
gonna be
those
a different vibe.
yeah, so for those of you who watched our Tiger King reactions, It's
Oh
gonna be a
yeah.
little bit like that. It was
Yes.
very just like very cool and chill and just
Exactly.
not like it was just sit down and watch things and maybe not talk so much about it, but just like or maybe
Yes.
talk about it.
Just let it
That's
wash over us and talk a little bit about it. It's not as in depth, or we're not performing as much in front of the camera. So yeah, laid back, Patreon exclusive reactions to
I'm
some of the
just
stuff.
gonna sorry, I can just see that you're talking about Umbrella Academy. Please stop everything about talking about
Oh yeah, yeah.
Umbrella.
Please don't spoil
Don't
Umbrella
just
Academy
and
season
don't
two.
try to just don't explain like how you felt about it because you don't give us any expectations like at all. It's just gonna mess with or at least with my experience of it. So
Yes, yes. So please don't, or at least you can avert your eyes a little bit. But we do like to keep an eye on the chat, and we are doing
exactly,
that,
it's so hard for me
even though
not
we're not
to.
addressing all of your questions and all of your comments
Yeah, you're saying
all the
so much
time.
good stuff in the chat, so please don't.
Yeah. And I saw someone asking if we've seen Stranger Things. Yes, we love that as well, and we're
Just waiting for season 4.
definitely gonna do reactions for that when it comes out. And we also did do reactions for Stranger Things 3 or season 3. Those are up on YouTube.
You were not supposed to. Okay, go drink.
Yes, I just grabbed it, and then you grabbed your drink or your
No,
bottle.
I grabbed it first, and
Oh,
then you
fair enough.
grabbed it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's just because then I grabbed it, and you know how I like to drink a lot at a time, and you just grabbed yours, and I was just like, okay, then I'll have to wait because we can't just sit in awkward silence while we drink.
Or maybe we can. No. But anyhow, yeah, Patreon exclusive series, that's something we are thinking about as well. Then when we're able to do that, Umbrella Academy season 2 is going to be up first, and then we might figure out what we can do from there on. And that was all the water.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I drink
when
a lot of water.
when you drink a
And
bottle of water, it's like in 2 or 3 goes, and then the bottle is done.
2 goes.
2 goes,
Yeah.
yes.
Unless
Exactly.
I am with other people, because I drink so loudly, like my
Sometimes I get startled
yeah,
if I'm not prepared for
it's
it.
so loud. It's so insanely loud when I drink.
It's like gulp, 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 gulp.
Yeah, exactly. So I have to like I'm very self-conscious when I have to go out and I have my bottle of water with me because I'm just like gulping that shit down in 3 gulps.
Yes, hydrate.
Loud.
Hydrate.
Yeah.
Very important as well. Don't have to drink all of it at once, but just hydrating during the day. That is, of course, important. And as I just mentioned before, like, yeah, we are seeing all of your very kind comments in the chat about some of the stuff that you watched on our channel and how you found our channel, and we appreciate it a lot. I also do want to just mention once more that if you want to support the channel, you can always do so, of course, by giving our videos a like and throwing a comment down in the comment section, or subscribing to the channel if you haven't done that already. But if you want to support us maybe financially, then you can do so through Streamlabs. You can see a link up there, and there's like a real link down in the description below. And you can follow it over there and donate whatever you want and put in a question or a comment. You can also use Super Chat here on YouTube, and that's kind of the same deal with whatever donation you want and a comment and a question, and we'll get to that and read it out, and then you can really join in the discussion here. And speaking of discussions, I think we're almost ready to get to the WandaVision part of the whole thing. So unless you wanted to say anything else about anything of
Well,
the
just
shows
that
that.
someone was just saying that the loud gulps could be good for voice acting, and I was just wanting to comment that I would love to do voice acting.
Oh yeah, me
I
too.
have the most horrible voice in the entire world, but it could be fun. I would love to.
Yeah, me too. I was lucky enough to try it out at one point for like a small video game here in Denmark, where I voiced the lead character in that one, but it was just a very short game where you drove around in a car in hell, and What are you?
Nothing, just talk.
It's just when you do that, like it's
Yeah, but it's
because you
just
want to say
no,
something.
it's not. It's just like I'm thinking of something, and I'm just like I'm trying to stop myself from thinking it, and like and
All right.
then because I have sometimes I have crazy things going through my head, and like crazy
Thoughts?
images and stuff like
Mm.
that, and then I can't stop myself from reacting to my own thoughts, and then I don't want to take away like the focus from whatever you're saying. So I'm always trying to stop myself, but
But your
it
face
doesn't.
is not communicating
No,
someone who wants to not say something.
I'm trying to stop, but I can't.
Fair
And
enough, fair enough.
it's not like go ahead, say whatever you were talking about that game
I've,
you were.
I think I said all of it.
Okay, it's just that you were doing this a lot, and I couldn't help but think of that where they took like Donald Trump and they put like a
Harmonica between
yeah,
his oh,
and every time he did like this, and then there was like
you comparing me to Trump?
no, it's just you're
I
doing a
know,
lot
I
of
know,
this,
I get it, I get
and that's just I can't help but see the harmonica between your hands when you do this, and you
it.
explain things, and then you like, and then boxes, and there's a lot of this.
All
So
right,
like yeah.
fair enough. Yes. So now we got it anyway. That's an inside look into the mind of Cat.
Yeah, well, it was like I would love to tell you afterwards, but I just wanted to let you finish whatever you were talking about. So that was why I was trying to stop myself. But
Yes.
I ruined everything.
No,
Sorry.
no, no, not at all, not at all. I think you just made it more fun for people.
Accordion, that's what it's called. Yeah, I knew it was wrong to say harmonica because harmonica that's this one and
Oh yeah, that's because we call it.
yeah.
Yeah, in Danish, that thing, the accordion, is actually called a harmonica. And then the thing that you play with your mouth is just called a mouth harmonica in Danish.
Yeah.
Just if you translate it directly. We don't have a lot of words all the time in our little language here. Okay, yeah, invisible accordion, exactly. Exactly, exactly, exactly. I did see someone mention something that a piece of news I was not aware of, but that's I've just been sitting in front of the computer and editing all day, so I haven't had a chance to look at news. What do you think about Ewan McGregor being casted in the Andor TV show? If that's true, then I guess that would make sense. Cassian Andor,
Oh.
and that series is going to take place between episodes 3 and 4 and
Yeah, yeah.
before Rogue One. And Obi-Wan is alive at that point, but
But
he would be
he's
closer to like the Alec Guinness version.
yeah, but also if it's between two and like what do you say, 3 and 4,
Hmm?
he would be a bit too old for that right now, would he? Wouldn't he?
Ewan McGregor? No, no, it would be too young for it if it's very close to episode 4, because that's at the Alec Guinness
Oh
version of
yeah, sorry, I was
Obi-Wan.
a whole other place. Yeah, sorry.
That's fair enough, fair enough. But that yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, cause
I could see it.
Rogue One leads exactly up to episode 4, and
Yeah, it's right before.
yeah, exactly. Okay, yeah.
Yes. All those universes
Oh,
and the movies and
yeah.
keeping track of it. Sometimes, yeah.
While still trying to keep track on my personal professional life. It's a
It
whole
can
lot of information.
it can be a lot. It can be a lot. All right. I think that's gonna do it for the talk about what's coming up on the channel, future reactions that we're gonna be doing. And now we're gonna move into kind of like the main topic, even though this can maybe turned out to be more of a main topic. I don't know how long this WandaVision discussion is gonna go on, but yeah, moving into WandaVision. First off, before we start with all the spoilers and what happened exactly, and you people are very much welcome to join in on that, and we can talk about theories and what you thought of the show, what we thought of it. But let's first get into the non-spoiler review, if we are able to, or we can just give a few quick thoughts on how we enjoyed it, at least, which we did. We enjoyed it very much. I don't know about you, like how it started for you, like what you thought of it at first watching the first episodes, and then the feeling you have now that we are at the end, or that it's done.
Yeah, so it definitely changed because
Hmm.
we started out with this I don't know. Is that too much of a spoiler to say that it started out like
No,
this
that was
classical sitcom
that
thing?
was in the trailers and all of that. So saying like the whole, yeah, it started out as a like in black and white and with a laugh track and sitcom-y. Yeah.
Very sitcom-y, and I've seen people that like they tried to watch the first episode and they just couldn't. And where I don't know. I love the way it was set up, and I love the idea of it, and where it ended in a certain way. I liked it, but there's some choices
There's some
made.
choices. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
We can get into that definitely in the spoiler stuff.
yeah. So there are some choices and a lot of questions answered,
Hmm.
a lot of questions not answered or heavily leading into.
Yeah, just setting up stuff, which is what they do in the MCU, and they're very good at that.
Yes.
Yes, and it might like in hindsight it might it's a shame that you you weren't a part of the first two reactions that I did
No,
by myself with the first two
but
episodes
I was
because you really enjoyed.
very busy at that point. I
Yes,
was
yes,
working
yeah,
40, 50 hours
yeah,
a
yeah.
week.
That was it was like your two jobs were just in high gear there. But maybe just I was just thinking in hindsight, maybe I should have just pushed those reactions until you were able to do it. But that might have been a lottery. Can't really undo it now. That's just the way we did it. I did the first two episodes by myself, and then you joined in on the third one earlier than I thought you were. But that's because you watched we watched them just off screen or not reacting to it, and like while we were eating dinner or something, and you really liked the first two
I
episodes.
did, yeah.
Yeah, and then decided that okay, just gonna join now because this is some good shit,
Hmm.
and it just got better and better. If you ask me, of course there were some high points and low points all the way through, but getting to the end of it, and especially the next to last, like the penultimate episode, and then also a lot of the stuff we got in the finale. I think that was just really good stuff. Good stuff, like top notch, and diving into areas of just of the human psyche inside of this fantasy universe where that had to happen at some point.
Yeah.
Um, where they maybe haven't really done that before in the MCU, and I just applaud them for being so brave with the story that they wanted to tell and with characters that wasn't exactly in the forefront when it came to all the other MCU superheroes and characters that has had their own movies and trilogies like Cap and Iron Man and Thor and all those like big guys there. But getting Wanda and Vision and seeing exactly just like who they are and getting to know them better. Like I loved every minute of it, and I'm gonna miss it. Like it's already it's gonna be weird not having that to look forward to each Friday.
Yeah. Um.
You was noticing stuff in the chat.
Yeah, it's just because it seems like Chloe was leaving. Um.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah, there was just It's okay. She she needs to catch up on on
Oh, on WandaVision. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, of course, and I think I guess it is difficult to talk about the series without getting into spoilers. So that's what we're gonna do now, and for the next 20 minutes ish, gonna do a little bit of a spoiler discussion and just maybe some of the stuff that we didn't get into after or in the reaction and the review part. Now that we also had some more time to just let it sink in and mull it over and look at some other theories and what other people have been saying and commenting on, including a lot of you guys who may have seen our reaction and commented on it. Just some of the stuff that you highlighted that we maybe didn't think about. So I'm gonna put up the little spoiler warning thing. just so that you know that we're gonna be talking spoilers. Where is it? It's right there. All right. Last warning. One, two, three. Damn, that was sad. Sad ending. But we kind of knew it was coming, and we already mentioned that, talked about it. And yeah, maybe we should have we should have learned.
We'll never learn.
We'll never learn.
We'll never learn.
It's every freaking time we sit down, both of us, we just forget about. Maybe we should bring tissues for just some of the stuff that we're watching, especially if we know that we're gonna get invested and it might get sad, it might get tragic.
But honestly, I can't be asked.
No.
I can't. I just can't. Can't be asked.
Yes. Yeah. You can't be bothered to do it. And just if someone is thinking, what does asked mean? But yeah, that's we're probably always gonna forget that.
No, I'm just saying that it's still more or less deliberate that I'm forgetting tissues. I'm not forgetting them. I'm just deliberately not.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's can't be bothered to do it. Yes. So more or less like deliberately. I don't think we
So if I
even
have
have.
to like it's like a steady stream. If I have to do like this all the time, I can't even see what's going on the screen. So why not just let it flow?
Yes.
It's just what I'm saying.
Let it flow. And we don't even have like any. I don't even think we have like Kleenex per se around the house. Like a box of
No,
Kleenex.
I think we've used them.
We've used them, yeah. We had some Star Wars themed ones at some point. But yeah, I know that you guys, you probably also have a lot of thoughts about the finale and the series overall. And if you really want to join in on this discussion, and if you want us to read your comment, because it's gonna be difficult for us to just address everything that's going on in the chat, and then we're not gonna be able to do anything else. But if you want us to focus on your comment or your question, answer it, get to it, then Streamlabs and Super Chats. That's always there, and then you can support us a little bit while doing it. It really helps out a lot, especially in these times. Even though Kat is working two jobs, this is essentially my job. What's going on with the channel, and trying to support ourselves, and it's yeah, it would mean a lot, of course. But yeah, some of the stuff that happened, at least in the finale, that we didn't get an answer to, and something they might get into in the future. We could start with White Vision. That's that's gonna like there are some possibilities there in the future, and the whole we might say hello again at some point.
Yeah, that sounded a bit like it was leading
Yes.
a lot. But like, yeah, but I think it's very hard to just like isolate certain events without talking about the bigger event. Because it seems like because now let's say the theory where Wanda is trying to get her kids back. Like for example, she has to bring back their souls from Mephisto, who is the devil. So
If that is where they are, because it could also be Chthon. I think am I saying that? Am I pronouncing that correctly? Another big scary MCU baddie, or it could be Dormammu if they're gonna use him again. But yeah, there are many possibilities. So it's not that we're saying it's gonna be Mephisto.
no, but let's say some like the souls are in another dimension, and she has to go get it. And then she like makes a deal with a person or like an entity that she's not supposed to make a deal with. And then she kind of breaks open the whole multiverse, and um, and then perhaps Vision is going to help out or like being the one who reaches her in a way. I don't know. Or just I don't
If he
know.
cares, like that's the whole thing. Like he got the memories at least, or got them reactivated, or like Wanda's vision. We can just call him WandaVision, I guess. Like the
WandaVision.
yeah, the vision that she created from the piece of the Mind Stone inside of her, and from her memories. What did she say? Like her loss and her hope and her love. Yeah, that vision activated the memories of the White Vision, and then White Vision just fucked off to. I actually don't really know where he would go. I see some people in the comments saying Wakanda, maybe like to the scene of his death, or maybe he's just gonna backtrack like all of the memories as best as he can. But there's also this part like if we take into consideration the source material where something not like that happened with Vision. It was a different situation, but at least we got White Vision in the comics as well, and he did have all the memories, but his emotions were just fucking gone. Hey! Oh, thank you so much, Apocalypse. I know the spoilers thing is kind of blocking it a little bit. But that was our dear friend, Apocalypse Cow, who's um, yeah, like a member of a community who's always being there for us and saying tissue fund donation. So now we should get out and get some tissues, and we can definitely do it with that, and should maybe just stock up so that we know we have some, and maybe we can bring them out. But thank you so much for that very generous donation, Apocalypse. We really appreciate it a lot. What was I saying? Yeah, sorry. White Vision in the comics, at least, like he didn't have like his emotions, they were gone. Like he had his memories, he knew that he was with Wanda, but he was just like, I don't care, I don't love you, I don't have any emotion, so I'm out of here. So is that what we're getting
Yeah,
into, like
probably.
if we meet him again, or huh?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, maybe. So just more heartbreak for Wanda, not a potential like
Sorry.
hello again, just the way that she wants to.
Sorry.
Oh, you have to fiddle.
Yeah, I have to fiddle.
Yes, can't sit still for for that long
No,
without
I
doing anything.
can't. It's I have to get to a doctor to see if I've got ADD. So
Yeah, yeah, fair enough. Yeah, fiddle away. But that, yeah, so that could be something with White Vision, and I don't exactly know what role he's then going to play in the future, but I'm sure that he's gonna pop up again. But something that you already alluded to was with Wanda and her wanting to get her children back, or at least like what she said was essentially, I'm not sure about this thing inside of me. I don't know all of it. I don't have control over all of it. But I will. Like I will learn it. And then she got the Darkhold, and she's reading through that because there was when Agatha was showing us the Darkhold at first, or talking about it during the finale. She did refer to like a chapter inside of the Darkhold that was about the Scarlet Witch and the fact that her destiny is to destroy the world. That obviously doesn't sound good. But yeah, so Wanda is looking through that, learning more about her powers. And then we heard that, or we saw that she heard her children calling out again. So they must be somewhere, and that could very well be inside of another dimension, or a like dark dimension, or with a Mephisto or a Dormammu or anything like that. But we are gonna get into the multiverse somehow, I guess, because that's literally in the title of the next Doctor Strange movie,
yeah.
Multiverse of Madness. And is that then what's gonna happen? What's is that what she's gonna open up? Yeah. Oh, thank you so much. And Night Eternal. cool name. Thank you so much for the donation. Appreciate it a lot.
But yeah, it's um we know I know some like yeah, I know Agents of Shield. It's very um like this if it's canon or not. But
Mm.
what we know of the Darkhold, it does have manipulative nature. Like it will basically corrupt you
Yeah,
in ways.
we've seen that. Yeah.
Yeah, so perhaps it's like perhaps it's doing the same, and that's why it's using her children, because that's like the best manipulation is to know what
Yes.
triggers you. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah, as leverage somehow
Exactly.
to make her do something, and maybe, yeah, something that's gonna destroy the world, not intentionally, because I don't think that we're gonna get to the point where Wanda, yeah, intentionally becomes a villain and she's just gonna become a straight up bad guy. It's most likely gonna be another scenario where she does something that she did not intend. Which that has happened multiple times now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then she's gonna break all hell loose, and then she's gonna get help from the Sorcerer Supreme.
Yes, and that was also a big thing, or something that we also mentioned, and I know a lot of people wanted a cameo from dear Doctor Strange, us included. Yeah, it would be nice. It's not that it didn't change anything for us. It didn't make the series lesser that he didn't show up. Not at
No, no, no,
all.
no, no.
Like the most important thing here was to focus on Wanda in particular, and then her memories and her relationship with Vision. That was
Yeah,
yeah.
and her whole process, like,
Mm,
because I remember seeing Endgame and thinking that woman has been through everything. Like, she's the most tragic character, I think, in the whole Marvel cinematic or Marvel
mm.
as far as I know. And I was just like, she's just coming back like nothing happened, and it's just like I was just thinking, like, that's some really heavy shit, and it's just like with movies, it gets so only on the surface. We're not scratching through and seeing the deeper levels of the characters in the same way. So I was just thinking that it was but maybe that's just because I'm a bit like of a masochist in a way, because I like to break people's
Yes,
personalities open and seeing what they're dealing with, and like I want to like this whole deeper psychological thing with people. That's what really, yeah, it makes my gears turn.
yes. It's yeah. But so what you're saying is they didn't do that, or
Not really in Endgame and like
oh, okay, okay, they
the
didn't do it in the
movies.
movies. Okay,
And
fair
then
enough. Yeah.
I was just curious about it, because I felt like they were not really touching upon some so devastating a past, and like so devastating events going through them, and her grief and everything. It's just, and also before we got WandaVision, and me just thinking about Wanda just made me tear up and
Mm.
cry, because it's so tragic, right? And yeah,
Very tragic. Like yeah, someone like of course there's a lot of tragedy going around in the world of just the MCU. Even I saw someone mention Thor. Like he lost so like
yeah, he also lost, yeah.
everybody, like all of his people, and blames it on himself too. I know he's a freaking god and he's like otherworldly and but he's also has very human emotions.
Yeah, of course.
Same goes for Wanda. So yeah, it's just saying like diving into that and just not keeping it just only surface level, but diving deeper into her psyche and what it means to grieve,
Yeah.
what it can do to you. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just that with Thor, he's got like 3 films at this point, right? So I was just thinking, like, in regards to her character, I just felt like there's a lot there that has been undiscovered, in a
Mm,
way where like Thor was just like we got 3 movies with him already, and
mm.
so there was just I felt like that was a little bit more covered,
Hmm.
his story.
Yeah, yeah,
So
definitely. He's been
yeah,
one of the leading. characters inside of the MCU,
Well,
one of the Avengers. And, yeah.
Ragnarok is my favorite MCU, so there you
Yes,
go.
one of my favorites as well. Cannot wait till Love and Thunder. Damn. Yeah, so good. And so much good stuff coming. But yeah, and I actually really appreciate that even though it wasn't supposed to play out like this, like they had a plan like that would have kicked into motion if the whole COVID thing hadn't happened. But just the way things played out, and this ended up being essentially the first thing that we got really from Phase 4, and actually like just kicking Phase 4 off. And I'm kind of glad that that happened in that way. I'm not that I'm saying I'm glad that COVID happened or anything, but I think it might have been a little bit of a blessing that they at least started with WandaVision, because I think everything that happened here, everything that happened with Wanda and understanding her better and seeing her become the Scarlet Witch and accessing these crazy powers both inside of herself and what she was destined to be, all of that is gonna have a huge effect on everything else we're gonna see inside of Phase 4. So yeah, I'm really glad that we got to spend a lot of time with her and as you say, diving into the deeper levels.
Mm.
Because yeah, I also like that. Not that I'm a masochist either, but it's nice to get these very base human emotions, even though it can be really tragic and sad a lot of the time. Um, and yeah, I can see some of you guys in the comments saying other characters as well. I don't know if you were referring to it like that, but yeah, someone like Hawkeye, very tragic as well. And we're gonna get a series about him, and I don't know if that has been confirmed when that's gonna take place, but I hope it's gonna take place in the 5 year period.
Where is Ronan, right?
Where he's Ronin, yeah, because I always found that very interesting, and that's also gonna deal a lot with grief and yeah, tragedy, him losing his family and then just going on a revenge spree all over the world, and in Japan.
Oh,
Yeah,
I don't know if can you say it was a revenge spree, but more like a vigilante spree,
yeah, more
maybe?
like a vigilante. Yeah, because like who, like not really exacting revenge on anyone. It's just he just yeah, channeling his grief through something, and the only thing he knows how to do is just be a badass with a bow and now a samurai sword as well. So yeah, looking forward to that. There's also one other character that I kind of want to bring up from the series from WandaVision, and I know it is probably just it was just Marvel, Kevin Feige or whoever you want to blame it on, blame it on, trolling us. Evan Peters' character,
Oh yeah.
Ralph Boner, ha ha ha. Was that just because I did read a lot of comments afterwards and saw some theories that okay, they can still maybe turn it around a little bit or just make it so that he wasn't just this random guy living in a house that Agatha just came across. Because they never really addressed like okay, so why did he have super speed? Did Agatha just give him super speed through the necklace? Or was that just to control him and he already had super speed? Because that wasn't really addressed.
No, exactly. We just saw that necklace being torn off, and like I noticed it, but I was
Hmm.
not really sure what that was all about because it felt like there was something else to it, and also Bona, like really. Um,
Even he chuckled, like it wasn't maybe even his real name.
but I was thinking about because I couldn't help but think, what if that guy was like, what if his character
Hmm.
was actually the guy that was in witness protection?
Yes.
Because then he wouldn't have that stupid name. And then also he could actually be Quicksilver, but from another dimension or something like that.
Maybe. And then what led to that? And how did he get into witness protection? And why did he need to do that? a lot of questions still about that guy. It could also just turn out that he was just this random dude who was. I think the witness protection thing might be right. But even Jimmy Woo mentioned like when he was talking to Monica about I have this guy in witness protection and he was in this town and now I can't get a hold of him and he said I tried calling his associates and his family and none of them like even remembered him, but that was because of what Wanda did and that was a whole thing. But it's just like okay, so if it is the X-Men or Fox version of Quicksilver, then why would he have family inside of that reality? So it's just yeah, you
But
have a
yeah, but it's when they were IDing people off of the sitcom thing.
mm,
We never saw Ralph, and they ID'd everyone. So we never saw Ralph on the ID wall thing. And maybe, and he didn't. I think he would have mentioned if he found his guy in witness
yeah, or he
protection.
saw him on the screen because Darcy was making a big deal of out of they recast Pietro. I know that like when they were putting things up on the board and like that was during episode 4 and Pietro, Ralph Boner, whatever you want to call him, didn't pop up until like um the end of episode 5, but I'm sure they were still looking into like who was inside of the hex and Jimmy Woo should have, if that was the guy inside of witness protection, should have been like, oh, there he is, that's my guy, that's who I was looking for. But
I
maybe
know.
not. Like, or maybe it just happened off screen and it's not really that important.
No, and maybe it was just like as you said. Maybe it was just like the people behind that was trolling us.
Yeah. Like sometimes, and like you know, we can be guilty of this, and definitely a lot of people on the internet are guilty of this. Like reading a bit too much into all of the theories and all of the hints and of the interviews and uh, when Marvel is just trolling us by saying things that oh something that might happen and then something like that oh we're gonna get a Luke Skywalker level cameo thing that apparently no one actually said, it was just a news outlet that just made a headline and went with it and then everybody else went with it and it just became this thing. But yeah, just reading too much into theories and getting too many expectations and like even something like Monica talking about her aerospace engineer guy that might just be some fucking random dude and it's not gonna turn out to be Reed Richards or Victor Von Doom or like
But honestly, I think it's the fun of it is like speculating,
oh
and
definitely
it's just if you keep an open mind to that your expectation or not, but like that your theories might be wrong.
or at least not getting set on okay it should be that or all the clues and if it's not that then I'm gonna get disappointed.
Or yeah, just don't set expectations, but like do like it could be this or it could be that, or like instead of, as you say, dead set on something, then just speculate and
Yeah, speculate and have your theories, but other than that, just go with the flow, man. Just let them
yeah.
entertain you. Because I don't think they've really let us down a lot, with at least with the MCU, with everything that they've been doing. Except for maybe, I don't know if this is even canon anymore, but the Inhumans show that they did that was supposed to become a part of all of it, and it was just, I didn't even watch it. I just heard it was horribly bad. So I never looked into it. But I don't think they've really disappointed people a lot with what they've been doing. And I trust the creators. I trust Kevin Feige a lot. And supposedly, like WandaVision was his brainchild, or it was like it's a story he really wanted to tell. Sorry, it looked like you were about to say something, or just thinking.
I forgot.
Oh,
It
that's why.
happens if yeah, if I can't say it straight away, it's gonna get lost.
Mm.
Um, Which is like, yeah, it's just I think this series in general was very nice. It fitted very nicely with the 1 a week format because we were thinking and we're doing all of these theories, doing
Mm.
all of these almost like calculations. Like we were really dissecting the whole thing, and I just think that's kind of magical in a way because that makes you like you're just looking forward to Friday again. Like it's suddenly
Yes.
it's gonna be like it's yeah, I know it's some people are very much into this binge thing, and I really like binging as well.
Mm.
um I just told you about how much I love Umbrella Academy. I just wanted to binge all of it like
Yeah.
at once. Yeah, so it's not like I'm against binging. It's just like we grew up with like Flow TV, or I don't know what it's called, but like cable, and you had to wait 1 week before the next episode. So
Yeah,
that's
and
kind of
that's
how we grew up with this, and learn how to appreciate how that worked.
yes, and it's more like a weekly event, especially with these big event series, and that's something that made. I know it's not something a lot of people bring up anymore, but like Game of Thrones, that was the biggest fucking thing. And when they were like when the seasons were airing and everybody was talking about it and theorizing, and it was going from week to week, and it was amazing. And we got that with the Mandalorian as well. And I don't know when and how like this expectation about no, like they should release all of it at once and it should be binged because it's not even for that like long that was like Netflix started doing it and then I guess some other streaming services did it, but it was really mostly Netflix. And then people started talking about like that should be the norm, but it's talking about it like that was the norm, but the whole like from week to week thing, that's the way it's been for so long, and now people complain about it a little bit sometimes, like, oh, why are they doing it week to week? Why aren't they just releasing all of it? It's just like because the binging format is not something that everybody is doing. It just became a thing, I guess, when the streaming services really
Yeah, but it's
yeah broke
also a
through.
way, like the benching thing. It works for huge platforms such as Netflix, and it has like Netflix has like 1 billion shows, but like a smaller streaming platform such as Disney Plus, or well, it definitely it became very big very quickly because
Mm.
they like
It's Disney, and they have so many.
yeah, and they took like then they took Fox, and they've taken Marvel, they've taken like everything, and they took everything back as well.
Mm.
So it's definitely gotten very huge in a very short time. But other things like I don't know. But if you want to keep people at your platform, that's what you do. You make a series with a lot of these
Mm.
twists and turns, and like something that's gonna keep you invested, but on the longer period of time, because then you will keep your subscription.
Yeah,
So
yeah, 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 exactly.
so in that regard, I definitely understand why they're doing it, and I think especially with WandaVision, it worked very well in this format because
Mm.
all of these things, all of these
There
theories
was
we
a
have.
lot of theorizing
Yeah.
going on, and a lot of people talking from week to week about what could happen and the way that they ended some of the episodes, especially when the Evan Peters Quicksilver, or now as we know him, Ralph Boner, showed up at the end of episode 5, and everybody was just, oh, holy shit, is that how they're going to introduce the mutants and X-Men? And maybe it was just Marvel trolling us, but that was awesome for a week or two, like just the hype about that. And I don't mind. I don't feel disappointed that it might not turn out that way. I'm sure they're going to introduce the X-Men at some point because they have the rights to them now. They're going to introduce the Fantastic Four at some point, and we are gonna get all of that. They're gonna weave it in there, and as I already said, like I trust Kevin Feige. I trust the people who are doing this to do a good job of it and tell a cohesive story in a way where it's not they're just not just throwing things at the wall just to see what sticks. They have a plan, and I would like for them to try to follow that plan because it hasn't failed them so far. Um, but yeah, other than what we've talked about so far with WandaVision. Is there anything else you
One
want to
thing,
bring up? One
one
thing.
thing.
Yes.
The use of sword and that whole operation.
Mm.
I felt it was like, I don't know. I think it was a bit too much to throw in the mix. Like I like to see how Monica got her powers. That was great and stuff like
Mm.
that. And
Yeah.
I love to get to know her.
Oh yeah, it
I
was
just
actually. Yeah.
I just felt like they were a bit underused, and like that whole ploy or that whole side of everything that was just not. I don't know. It's just didn't feel satisfactory in a way. So in that regards, I get the people who were saying that it didn't feel very satisfactory in like the sword division,
Mm.
and with Hayward and all of that. But like for example, Darcy had like one line in the last episode. We saw her once, and it was like with one line, and I love Darcy. I think I love her.
Mm.
So them not using her as much in the latter half of the series was just a shame for me. And like they even
Okay.
what?
I'm just saying. Okay.
Okay. And also like Jimmy Woo, I loved him as well. I love their dynamic between um between Jimmy and Darcy and Monica. I like the
Mm.
little like dynamic they had together. I think that was amazing, and I wish they kind of spent a lot more time with them because I felt like they were awesome. So I really hope that they're gonna like expand on their
I've
that thing.
yeah.
And then I also liked just like Darcy and basically everything because that episode where they were doing like 2000s and 2010s episodes,
Oh
and
yeah, with
then
the Modern Family and the
yeah, the
Office and yeah,
mockumentary
yeah, yeah, yeah.
format, and then just Vision and Darcy together. There was just some things that their dynamic was so awkward and weird, but in a like a fantastic way.
Yes, she jived pretty well with the people that she was interacting with, and there were a lot of comedy going on there, but she was still very capable. Dr. Lewis, don't forget it. And someone, please bring her a coffee at some point. Like no one brought her any fucking coffee.
Oh
The
yeah,
poor woman. Oh, someone did?
Jimmy.
Oh, Jimmy did. Oh,
Yeah, he
okay,
did.
yeah. The good man, good man. Jimmy
Yeah.
was awesome, and I love seeing him as well. And I that's at least like even though they felt a little bit underused, I'm sure we're gonna see them again because they are some great side characters, and now they did bring them up again. We haven't seen someone like Darcy since Thor: The Dark World, which was in 2013 or 14 that one came out. So yeah, I haven't seen her in a bit. And also Sword, I'm sure they're gonna get way more into that, and also alluded to that with the first end credit scene with Monica going into the theater and then getting approached by a Skrull who said that a friend of your mom's, like he's up there and he would like to talk to you. So pretty damn sure that's Nick Fury, and he's involved with Sword and involved with the Skrulls. They're doing things up in space, and that's what we know about Sword also from the comics. That's their realm. Whereas Shield, were they were kind of more focused on Earth and protecting Earth. I don't know if and when we're gonna see Shield again, or if they're just gone, and now we're gonna focus more on Sword. But I feel quite certain that they're at least gonna develop that more. But I do agree with you that it did feel a tad underdeveloped in the series, and someone like Hayward, the acting director, he just became somewhat of a one note villain, especially, yeah. And then I also do want to highlight Monica because this was basically an origin story for her character on her getting powers. I can't wait to see more of her. And she was an awesome hero, just like
Yeah.
her approach to things and how she kept on all the way through, being like, no, I want to help Wanda. I want to talk to her because she's clearly going through something, and she's not the fucking villain. Like she was the one who was really just trying to hammer in that point,
Mm.
and did get to do some awesome things, and use some of her powers that she got. And I can't even I also can't wait to see more of like what she can do
Yeah.
as Spectrum and she can't see the electromagnetic spectrum, and
Yeah,
yeah, damn,
and I just
awesome stuff.
she spoke to Wanda and try to level with her, and even when Wanda was kind of getting realized that she did something horrible, and she kind of like pushed her pain onto the whole town.
Mm.
And she was talking to Monica about it, and Monica even said like, if I had the powers, if I could do the same, I would have done the same, but with my mom.
Yeah.
I would have done the exact same, but with my mom.
Yeah, 'cause she didn't get to say goodbye to her.
No,
To
so she was
fucking
exactly. She would
snap.
just bring her back and
Get
do,
some closure, maybe.
maybe, or
Yeah.
just live together in peaceful harmony, and like so in that way that she actually emphasizes
Mm.
with Wanda, and was trying to understand and trying to level with her and trying to, as you said, not trying to make her the villain. I think but that is it's just me, I guess.
Mm.
It's just I believe that the way that we can heal the world. Oh, this sounds so hippie like, but the way we can heal the world and each other is by, instead of trying to alienate each
Mm.
other, we
Mm.
should try to understand and trying to emphasize and trying to, get to know each other. And like,
Yeah, yeah.
where does this anger, where does this fear, where
And if
where
some
are these emotions coming from?
Yeah, and if someone is doing something wrong, like Wanda did, not just take her out or punish her, but try to understand what is going on. Like, why, how did you get here? What happened? How can we help you? I know that, yeah, we're not gonna get into all sorts of political stuff,
Mm.
how to save the world or how to handle every little situation, but someone like Monica. We need more people like her, and I love that she is a part of the MCU now. She does have power. She's gonna go into space, help Nick Fury do something, and it's gonna hopefully become a big part of Phase 4 as well.
And she's very beautiful.
She's very pretty, yes. Yeah.
Yes, and like she's a curvy woman. Like she's not like she's for me it's like I've always watched a lot of like movies with women and they were like this thin, and I was just like, if you're awesome an awesome heroine or something, you would probably not be this thin. You would probably
Yeah.
like, and there's like a certain, of
Yeah.
course
Just
some people would look different because they have different powers. For example, there is no reason to be big and muscly if you have like all the magic in the world.
yeah, yeah.
Like so
Like
there's yeah.
yeah, like Elizabeth Olsen, for example, is not a huge muscly girl or anything like that,
No.
and you don't have like and it doesn't really matter what anyone looks like. Is I think at least
Mm.
it can be any shape or form, and you can be a hero, you can be an awesome person, and it's like that's and just the notion of also when it comes to like some of the male superheroes, you don't have to be a Superman looking dude or like be shaped as a fucking Greek god or something to be a hero. Like that image, I think, is just outdated. A hero can like anyone can be a hero. You don't like no matter what you look like, what shape or form. Already said that. I think we are nearing the end here because you have one more thing to say.
No, just yeah. Someone in the comments was saying like it's nice to see more body representation,
Yes,
and I've
exactly.
always been attracted sounds wrong, but I've always been very leaning towards the heroes that were not like, that's, I think that's why I started watching anime and I like started reading manga and stuff like that, because I felt like the hero was not this ideal man or like this ideal woman or like
Yeah,
this ideal person, like ideal
yeah.
human.
Who
It
looked
was,
perfect and acted
yeah, it
perfectly.
was an annoying
Perfect.
little, or just an annoying person
Like
just
like
wanting to,
Naruto.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. That's I've been deeply involved in Naruto and also One Piece for huge chunk of my life,
Mm,
and like this, they have certain similarities. These two, like they're kind of annoying.
mm.
They're kind of like not the best social butterflies. Like they're very unique. And then, but what the thing is, like they're working hard, and that's like the most, like that's their essence basically. Like they're
Yeah,
hard workers, and they
for
have,
those two, yeah.
yeah, willpower and stuff like that. Whereas someone like Superman, for example, or
Ki-
whatever, they would
Yeah,
just,
it can definitely also be a deep character. It's just what we're saying is it's not this like there's not this one perfect image of what a hero should be or what it can be. And we just like when different kinds of people with different backgrounds,
yeah,
looks,
absolutely.
sensibilities, like they are represented in stuff like this. Representation is big deal. It's very important. Just for
Especially in these times.
especially in these times. Yeah.
And yeah, Kat Dennings is hot as well.
Yeah.
They're all very beautiful human beings.
Yeah, inside and out. I do want to highlight just one last thing and one last person because now we've pretty much talked about everybody almost. Catherine Hahn as Agnes or Agatha Harkness was also freaking amazing. And just when talking about what might happen with her character, I'm so glad they didn't kill her off.
Yeah.
I was so afraid that they were gonna do that because she was so freaking awesome. And even though I thought, like me personally, I thought her costume towards the end was a little bit too much, maybe, or like sometimes it just looked a little bit
A little
too
bit
much
like a
too much
caricature.
yeah or it looked like a costume but anyway like it's just a minor thing but she got turned into the nosy neighbor again and then Wanda imprisoned her inside of well it can't really I don't think it was the hex that was there before because that kind of disappeared so maybe she just made a new prison-like thing for her and she's gonna stay there and someone's maybe gonna check up on her. I hope that she's not just gonna be left there and just no one is gonna do anything and she's just gonna die of hunger or I don't know. But she's there. She might become a thing or she might still play a part in the future of the MCU. And I very much like that. Oh, thank you. Oh,
Thanks,
it's
Mom.
gonna pop up on screen in yeah, or is it? Maybe it isn't. At least you guys can see it in the chat. Thank you so much, Mom, for for the support and the donation. Number one fan. There we go. Hey, thank you. And in Danish krona as well. Thank you so much. Hope to see you soon, by the way. But yeah, that was I think we talked about pretty much everybody and just what a good job they did with this series. How much we enjoyed it. Seems like all you guys really enjoyed it as well. You had something.
Just very quickly, because you can see, Bara Satan? No. Like, you know who you are.
Oh,
um, I've just I followed along in the chat as well,
mm.
and since you're saying representation matters, if I remember correctly, you were really much into the whole Billy and Tommy thing, but that's because, oh, was it Wiccan who was in Young Avengers was the he was he is homosexual, right? Or
Oh
something
yeah,
like.
I think you're right about that.
And I still
Yeah.
think we kind of haven't really seen much of that.
No, not at least in the MCU in that sense. I don't remember when I heard something about that they were gonna do like have the first like openly gay character in some of the upcoming stuff. I read it somewhere, but yeah, it's still getting a lot of representation, but there's still ways to go for everyone like to include everybody because it is there are it's like just when we talk about reality and the world, there are a lot of different people, and they should all like be represented in the stuff that we're watching as well. It just makes sense. It really does. Not with
It was so nice to see like the first uh like about a woman about Captain Marvel
Oh yeah, in the MCU.
in the
Yeah, yeah,
yeah in the
yeah. Not
MCU
that she was
and
the first hero, but like
no,
the,
but like
just the
the
first.
first she got her own movie first, and then we got Black Panther, and like we're just expanding and evolving, and I think that's amazing. Also with like Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, that was so amazing. Like if
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
I can still talk for hours about that movie. It's like
Yes,
my
love
favorite
it
of
so
that
much.
year. Yeah.
That's no, that's not strictly speaking MCU, but when it comes to
No, I
sequels,
know,
I'm
but
looking
and
so much forward to what
it's
they do with that
yeah,
franchise as
it's
well,
still
that
Marvel, you
universe.
know. So and
Yeah, yeah,
what
yeah.
I meant was just like Spider-Man was white first off, and then they created Miles Morales, who was uh, biracial. And I just think that's so amazing that we're trying to make these characters and make them appeal to everyone, so everybody has someone they can relate to. And I just think that's amazing.
It
It makes
is,
me
it is.
happy.
Definitely, definitely. Um, yeah, I
But
think
that was it. Yeah, I'm
yeah,
sorry.
I
I'm
think that
sorry.
that's a good way to yeah, and now I think we can also, unless you guys have anything else you want to get into when it comes to WandaVision, the series, and the finale. Now I said we're going to talk about this for about 20 minutes, and then we just went on and on and on, and as we usually do, and now it's closing on like 50-minute talk about just WandaVision, and the whole stream has almost been going on for an hour and a half. But yeah, if you guys have anything else that you want to get in here at the tail end of the stream, please yeah, write it in the chat, or if you want to make sure that we mention it, you can quickly still send in something through Streamlabs or Super Chat. And yeah, I think that's pretty much well.
It's just
Oh, Into the Spider-Verse did a lot for pig representation in Hollywood. Yeah. Oh yeah, that was so much fun and good stuff from
oh
from
my
from that
god.
movie. Really love it. And just yeah, mentioning Miles Morales, I still have to, and just Spider-Man in general, I still have to play the PS4/PS5 game because that's supposed to be an amazing story as well.
Hmm.
And with both Peter Parker and then the expansion with Miles Morales, and it's yeah, so much good stuff coming. And we can circle that back to just talking about the shows that we were gonna react to and what we have in mind. And it's difficult to just say like have a list and say we're gonna take things from the top and these are the shows that we're gonna be watching because there's so much new stuff coming all the time that we do want to watch, and especially when it comes to yeah, like Marvel and Star Wars and the universes that we love, and we've always been more into the fantasy sci-fi realm than anything else, I should say.
Yeah, and it's of course if we had the resources or like the time, all the time in the world, and all resources, yeah, money.
Mm,
We would do this all day. I think if we just could, you know, sit down and then churn out a lot of content, we would do it. But
mm.
unfortunately, life kind of also comes in the way in a way. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's I know I've said that I try to do this for a living, but it's not definitely not enough to support both of us.
no,
And you also, well, yeah, doing some exciting stuff with the jobs that you're working and
definitely.
getting into some exciting like potential chapters in your life with that, with not just money wise. That's not the most important thing, but at least just that it's something that
Accomplishments
yeah,
and something that's
accomplishments
super
and
interesting.
yes, exactly, and something that like you've gone through like you have a long educational background, so and you want to use it for something,
Yeah.
and that's not necessarily YouTube videos, even though it is a lot of fun and we
It
do enjoy doing this.
could be a YouTube thing, but it's just it takes so much time to create content. It really does. And
Yeah.
sometimes I feel like people kind of forget it. Just how much time it takes. Like it takes up. But with that being said, I'm not trying to sit here and be ungrateful because I'm 1000% grateful of all the support we got in any kind of way.
Very, very much. And it's been like a really, oh, I tried to remove this. There we go. I don't think we're talking spoilers anymore. And what was I about to say even? Now that just popped out of my head. No, I have seen, or the keeping an eye on like comments, and of course like subscriptions and stuff both on YouTube and patrons, also over on Twitch, and it is still growing. A lot of people are joining the community here, subscribing to the channel, watching, especially some of the WandaVision stuff that we did, and I'm just so grateful that you guys chose to watch us react to this awesome content and talk about it with you guys and theorize, and that we're able to do these live streams as well where we can interact with you a little bit more. I do want to start doing, I've mentioned it a couple of times, but I think you should look into it because there's some cool stuff going on over there as well. Stereo, where you can actually really talk to people and people can send in voice messages. And I can hear your voices, and we can actually have more of a conversation in a sense, instead of us trying to sit and read through the chat, because that can be difficult, and especially because when we're filming stuff, like for me personally, I'm not always wearing glasses, and then when I try to read things on a screen, it'll just be a blur if I'm not focusing. But yeah, just wanted to get that in there. Really, really enjoy having all of you here and a part of this journey that we are on the interwebs, and making some content, and at least trying to keep it light and entertaining most of the time, even though we do get into some real things and have to like try to go deep in the discussions, and sometimes our discussions get quite long compared to others. I know, and I totally get why, like the not having time to watch through our like the whole discussion every time we put out a video. But yeah, just trying to spread some sort of good vibes out there. It's at least just the mission that we are on, and then it's also because we like doing it and it's fun to do this. Do you have anything you wanna, any closing statements?
Nope.
Nope. Alrighty. It seems like, yeah, there are no more super chats or streamlabs, but to the people who did donate this time around, thank you so much as well. That it really helps a lot, of course, the financial stuff, and then to all the people in the chat, everybody watching, and the people watching on the replay as well, thank you all of you so much. We love you. 3,000, just to keep it MCU centric, I guess, or just another MCU reference. Another sad moment as well. Come to think, like, yeah, could go on and on and on. Thank you guys so much for joining. It's been a blast, and we'll see you very soon, and especially catch up with Sonny. See you next Saturday, where might have, yeah, I might do it myself again, or maybe Kat is going to join. Maybe there's going to be another guest. We'll see what there is to talk about when we get to that. But that's going to do it, guys. Thank you once again. See you soon. Bye.
Bye.